friends, and hello, good people of the internet, and welcome back to Legendary Tabletop. And today I'm going to recap a extremely fun day I had at the Dice Dojo in Chicago, Illinois, for a Mordheim Anniversary Tournament. And this was an absolute blast and very cool for me personally. A lot of you on the channel, a lot of the people here that watch, you have seen me build and construct and paint all sorts of Mordheim terrain over my 2 years here on YouTube, and a lot of it that you've seen too has been built in previous years before I ever started to upload videos on YouTube. So a lot of work was put into several different game boards, which the organizers were kind enough to invite me to bring my boards. So we brought the board. Well, I brought 2 boards, and I brought my Mordheim City board, and I brought my Mordheim Lustria board, and there was some things there obviously that were built specifically for that event. I built a new board for the city. My old one had just maybe been built 7 or 8 years ago. I've been played on quite a bit and filmed on quite a bit, so it was a little bit beat up, so I decided to build something a little bit more sturdy, and we will have a dedicated video for that build coming up in the future. But be that as it may, we're going to talk today about the Mordheim event. So this was an all-day affair with a campaign, and one of the best parts of the game of Mordheim is not just the game mechanics itself, but the RPG between match game elements, where you get to explore, search for treasure, upgrade and enhance your warband. So when you get to play multiple games, the game gets better and better as you're able to learn new skills and advance your characters. And so there was 5 games, and shout out to Alec, the organizer, who did just a really good job of putting together some fun scenarios for the 5 games. And included in this whole thing was an actual printed map of the city of Mordheim, where we used tokens to advance our warband and take over different quadrants of Mordheim. And when you play your matches, essentially different places, different locations in the city of Mordheim will give you bonuses to advance your warband and special abilities during the matches. So very cool. In between each match, all the players, I believe there was about 25 people in attendance. All the players basically would gather. We would talk about the scenario really quickly and go over who was moving on the map. And then also the map would let you know at certain points who would be competing against each other. And then really cool, they're just, a couple quick of the post game map rules. Basically, you could move to a connected territory and try and claim it, or you could also return and sort of to your gate and play sort of defensively. So some more strategy added to the already rich game of Mordheim. And one of the best parts of this whole experience was how much pride and work people had put into their warbands and the terrain. So usually at the Dice Dojo, There is a normal like weekday Mordheim group that meets up, but we just kind of use the terrain that's there. People do bring their own warbands. A lot of them are sort of like half painted, but that's cool. It's like a laid back vibe. And this event is a little bit different where people kind of have themes. There's like a voting competition for best terrain, best theme in miniatures, best painted warband, that sort of thing. Like not really like too competitive, but just mostly like a place to show the cool stuff that you have made. And the miniatures, which I'm going to be showing obviously, are just beautiful. The warbands that people had put together, the terrain that people had 3D printed, built, and painted were just really cool. There were some people there that I had met from Adepticon. There was people from the normal group, people from out of town. And I have to say too that the group itself, all the competitors, everybody had a great personality. Everybody had really cool themes to their warband. I didn't meet anybody that I didn't like a lot. And shout out to all the people that I played matches with. All the matches were super fun. All of the people were fun to talk to. And I'm excited about getting involved in more tournaments like this. So moving on to the scenarios. So there was 5 scenarios presented, and they were presented in a really great way, with each scenario getting a sort of piece of paper with the special rules and also bonuses to experience and how scenarios work. And they were all great, fun scenarios. So if possible, you're a Mordheim player, or you organize events like this, or just looking for a cool scenario to use, I'm going to go through really quickly some of these, and because they're all pretty great. So the first one is a word that I cannot pronounce, and basically it's the night of Halloween in the Warhammer world, and you warbands set up on each side, and the objective is to hunt Weirdstone, but you have to exit on the opposite side of your opponent. So you have to basically gather Weirdstone while crossing paths. So basically some fights are inevitable. And then being that it's Halloween, basically when you do pick up Weirdstone, there is a possibility that zombies spawn, and then you have to fight the zombies. And basically the game ends when there's a rout, or your warband is able to escape with warpstone on the edge of the table. And then obviously if you get bonuses, you're able to rack up a little extra. The second scenario is there are skulls, and you have to locate these skulls. But when you do explore the skulls, and the skulls basically act like the Weirdstone tokens. The skull can explode, it can laugh, which makes your warband person, or whoever searches that skull, have to do a leadership test, and they can rout. And of course I played the Skaven, so very low leadership. All my little boys got scared and ran away from the skulls. You can roll just to have an ordinary skull, and what you are looking for is the skull of the headless one. And if you roll an 11 to 12 on a d6, you get the skull. And then there's a spirit that spawns, and the spirit chases you until you can get off the table. And if it runs into you before that, it damages you. It actually ended up in my match killing a bunch of the my opponent's warband, really cool chaos cultist warband. A couple of their heroes got whacked, and so some really cool scenarios. The next scenario was searching buildings, and each building you could either interrogate or ask questions. You're basically looking for information, and then information, you get these tokens, and you have to escape the city with the information. And same sort of deal where you have to escape on the opposite side. So once again, combat and conflict is inevitable. So great scenarios. The fourth scenario what had to do with sort of like this radioactive weird stone, where the weird stone is, the meteors are falling, and there are these place markers that spawn, and they spawn this like vortex, where basically anytime your warband enters the vortex, they have to do a saving roll to see if they like get knocked down or even killed. This sort of like radiation from the weird stone falling, and then during the match, more of these vortexes appear at the end of each turn. They can just appear randomly. You use a directional dice to see where they spawn, and it was a great scenario. I think the organizer Alex said that this was taken from a Necromunda scenario, but very fun, really cool. You know, basically each turn you just roll 2d6 with a directional die, and from the center or from one of the previous markers, that tells you where the new vortex spawns. Very cool scenario. And then the fifth and final scenario was the introduction of this character, the Headless One, who was kind of a callback to some of the previous plot points where we were looking for the skull. And basically there was a character, the Headless One, who appeared, and two of the war bands, you just had to kind of go at it and see if you could take out the Headless One. At that point, my war band, which was the Skaven, had racked up quite a bit of points. My Eshin Sorcerer had a couple good spells. The Nadoom spell, which is a really good spell. It's like this rat spawning spell. It's kind of OP. Some of the things in Mordheim, Mordheim's a great game, but it's not particularly balanced. But the people that play it kind of know that. And the great thing about this tournament too is there's a bunch of house rules in order to help out with a lot of these balancing issues. Rules to do with the dual wielding. Slings can be a bit OP with Skaven, so people have to use short bows. Rep maximums for these rabbit foot lucky charms, which can be a bit overpowering, that sort of thing, but like good, thoughtful house rules. So maybe you can take something away with this as a listener, as like a fan of Mordheim, whether you use the scenarios, whether you use the house rules, or you yourself want to plan something like this. I'm thinking about that in the future as the channel grows. Lately there's been a lot of growth, a lot of people coming to subscribe, and it's been very cool. And last but not least, there was sort of this kind of fun punk rock art element to the thing. It seems a bit as like a sort of unspoken rule that people bring stickers and zines. Some really cool zines were left by one of the members of the group with all sorts of different little games and scenarios and fun little art. Some of the people that play in the group also are involved with Trench Crusade. They had put together this cool Trench Crusade campaign, and people kind of brought all that stuff, and they were sharing that art with each other, and a very cool community and awesome to witness. I also brought these little stickers to exchange with people to give out to opponents, and but yeah, overall a great experience. In the end, we all met together and they handed out awards for like being good opponent, having great terrain, having a great war band, and definitely something that I'm Looking forward to participating in the future. Shout out again to the organizers for just doing a great job. And I'm pretty sure that they don't really get paid for this. They just kind of do it out of passion. And it's great to see the game of Mordheim just flourishing in this like punk rock underground scene here. And you know, this isn't the only one. People are really passionate about this game. And I, for one, am going to play Mordheim until the Lord comes and takes me. And I love it. Love every second of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this different type of video, this vlog, just sort of recapping the experience. You know, as always, thank you so much if you're still listening at this point to my ramblings. I appreciate you, appreciate all the subscribers, all the new people, all the old people, and there's going to be some cool stuff coming up. I'm coming into my slow season for work, so I'm going to be able to make a lot more videos in the winter time, and we're going to continue with the big crazy builds. We're going to continue with some of the lore, practical effects stuff that you guys have seen. There's going to be a little bit more of that lore exploration. You guys seem to like that. A couple more vlogs, not too many, because you guys hate that. And but sometimes we got to do what we want to do. And but yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of Legendary Tabletop, and we will see you next time.